All right, welcome. It is Monday, November 12th, Veterans Day, and we are live and in person with Samantha B coming to you. So let me share her little screen, and we will get her going with a little bit of motivation as to why did you choose to join the Mama G lifestyle.
It is a beautiful fall day here in Southern California. We are lucky where we are that we are not affected by the fires, besides a little bit of what we call a Santa Ana wind. So super big prayers and thoughts to the people that are being affected by that, and super grateful that my family and friends that are close are not being affected. I want to get right into it tonight. I want to kind of address a couple of things. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands what the experiment is. So for the lifestylers that have already done this, and my more successful lifestylers, we're really, really adamant about doing a couple of things. So number one, I want you guys to understand that you should be contacting 2 people every single day. And the first thing that you should be doing every single night is sending Regina, Mama G, a text of your food graph, your oh geez, come on Sam, your macros, okay? So once you give her that, that is her cue to then go in and look at your food. And even if you're hitting 50, 30, 20 at every single meal, I promise you that there's so much more to learn than just by hitting perfect numbers. She can give you different options, different suggestions, because this is your 90-day experiment to cut the crap and figure out how to make yourself better for the rest, okay? The second person that you should be contacting is me. Now, you have listed fitness macros for 30, 60, and 90 days that are very specific to you. I would like a signature, a schedule for your week. On Monday, I do mobility and I do lift and I walk for 10 minutes, okay? On Tuesday, I do cardio for 30 minutes. If I do not feel good on Tuesday, I then cardio on Thursday, but that can be rearranged. Wednesday, I lift and I do mobility. On Thursday, I either have a day off or I do the cardio if I can feel good on Tuesday. Friday, I do mobility, extra core, and I lift. On Saturday, I do cardio and I rest on Sunday. I really want it broken down as specific as possible so I can help you make some changes. Ladies and gentlemen, every day, that means on every single day, if we get a pie chart, that's what it's called, a pie chart to Gina, and you get an exercise graph from your either Polar heart rate band or your Apple Fit IV, send to me, then you are going to get feedback. If you do not do that, this program is not going to work for you because you're not getting any feedback. You're just going through the motions. You need to learn. And so that is what our topic is today. Why are you in Mama G's lifestyle, okay? I really want you guys to think about the purpose behind choosing this particular fitness plan when there are thousands of options out there. You have for whatever reasons, Atkins came into my mind. You have the Atkins. You have the, if it fits my macros, you have paleo, you have beach body, whatever. You have keto, you have so many things. Why did you choose Mama G's lifestyle? Why? Here's the beginning to a very short and sweet story. I went to a party yesterday at my friend's house. It was kind of like a beauty thing. You could have done all kinds of different things, and there was champagne, there were snacks, it was a beautiful day, there was great conversation. There were people that I knew, there were people that I didn't know, and there's a lot of people that I don't see on a regular basis, so it was fun for me to socialize with those people, and blah, blah, blah. I get a lot of compliments about the way that I looked, and I accepted them and moved on, and I never really pushed Mama G's on anyone. I never push what I do in order to stay fit and to grow in what I'm currently working on for goals. I kind of keep it to myself because it's kind of my own situation, and if they wanted to know, that they would reach out to me and ask. I feel very strongly about people joining this program for the right reason and not doing it to look like a specific thing or to think that they're going to find happiness in getting healthier, that they can actually identify that they could be happy at any place, but doing it in a healthy body, ensuring the livelihood of living a strong and healthy independent lifestyle that we always talk about is something that might give people a little extra confidence boost when going to the gym and sweating it out and eating nutritious and delicious for the majority of their meals. So I am in this place with these people that I do know. There's some people that I don't know. And then there's all of a sudden, everybody's having a good time, and this girl starts to pitch a, I don't know which, I didn't listen very well, which you'll hear later. They were pitching something of a diet that you could buy some, they were like little packets that were going to give you energy, and then there were some that were going to give you your nutrients, and there were going to be some that give you your protein. And for the cost-effectively amount of blah, 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 you were going to be able to become healthy. And I thought, wow, this is so strange. And people are tuning in. They are so interested into these three different potions that were going to give them health. And so we're sitting there and they're finishing their pitch. And this one woman says, "What do you think, Sam?" And I thought to myself, I have no comment, really. I felt a little, I don't know, nervous, only because I didn't want to put down somebody's business that they worked really hard to build, and they're trying to sell something to people that they honestly believed in. And I said, I choose not to supplement. And so that was my big comeback. And so then they start going off on, oh, but Sam, you could get your protein and your ginkgo gababa or whatever. You could get this, that, and the other thing. And so somebody had mentioned, like, oh, so I would look like Sam. And I just kind of smiled and laughed. And I was flattered. But no, you are not going to look like somebody that is healthy and lifts by having packs of fruits and vegetables, she told me, which I clearly did not understand because there were no fruits and vegetables on the table, but that's what they were in one of the packs. And then your energy was in the other pack, and then your protein was in the other pack, so on and so forth. And people bought this, which is fine, and I didn't say anything. It has nothing to do with me. But I thought to myself, what made them choose that? And what made you choose this? Did this seem like it was going to be easy? Did this seem like it was going to happen without any work? Did this seem like you shouldn't be challenged? And so it just really got me thinking. And so I've talked to Gina a little bit about this, and I've talked to a couple of my clients today about this. And I just wanted to shout out some facts. And I wanted you to know that every single day, it is not easy to work out. It's not easy to listen to my body and take rest. It's not easy to make decisions based on challenging myself and trying to push myself to become stronger, because usually that comes with being uncomfortable. And usually that comes with not feeling completely, what's the word? Not feeling like I completely nailed my whole entire workout all week. And I want you guys to understand that even when you do, there's days that I feel very fit, and I love it. I love the days that I can throw 193 pounds on my back and squat for a triple and feel super strong. That to me, you can't pay for that feeling. That feeling right there comes because of the sweat, blood, and tears that was put behind it for the past year or 33. I don't think people realize that no matter where you are in this regime, that you're constantly going to be challenged. You're constantly going to be put into a situation where there's champagne flowing and donuts and tasty treats that look delicious and smell delicious. but are not going to bring you to whatever goal it is that you're looking to have, because you're going to have 18 glasses of champagne and then buy some product that costs $350 that it comes in 3 packs that apparently is going to make you fit and healthy. But guess what? You never get fit and healthy. Here's the deal. At Mama G's Lifestyle, you are doing this, and I'm actually going to quote my husband on something as a 401k for your body, okay? You are going to, one, you're going to learn. And I'll tell you right now that if you're in the experiment and you're not every single day sending a pie chart, and you're not every single day sending a graph, you're never going to learn anything from us, and this will not work for you. And you're going to leave maybe feeling better for the rest for a little while, but you're not really better for the rest because you haven't figured it out. I know this because I've lived where you've been. I've wanted the quick fix. I wanted to take a pill or a potion. I wanted to be the skinniest, strongest, prettiest, most sought out person there ever was. But guess what? That person really wasn't as happy as the one that people keep telling me that now I look better than I ever have, which is completely crazy to me. But I think that a lot of it comes from that now I don't treat my body like crap. I'm not in a constant state of inflammation, and I feel really good about taking a treat when I want to, and I feel really good about fueling for the majority of the time very calculated. So if I wanted to have a bite, and as I did last night because I know I'm at my weight goal, I had a little bite of some cake that I wanted, and I didn't have a whole piece because like I'm still trying to stay at this specific weight for my competition coming up. But I don't feel deprived. I don't feel like I can't have something, but I do feel like I feel better, and I know why. And I'm not feeling these super big cravings, and that's where I want you. I want you to get here. I want you to meet me for the purpose of being better for the rest in the future, for the current, and understanding that what you did in the past should show you that it didn't work before. That if you starve yourself from a meal or you push yourself super hard for workouts for just a couple of weeks, it didn't stay. You have to be consistent. So doing things that are super out of your scope aren't necessarily going to make you fit. Staying into your scope of your fitness is what's going to allow you to grow. And then once you're 90 days in, you should be able to do anything. And if what you want to do is one goal versus the other, that doesn't matter to me. If you want to start lifting and do more strength training, if you want to be a marathon runner, if you want to start, who knows, doing crew or so on and so forth, that you can do that. But for 90 days, why 90 days? This is a chance to experiment. So if things aren't working, we can make changes. If you aren't feeling better, if you're better for the rest, or your symptoms that put you in here because you were sick and tired of being sick and tired, if we can't address those because we're not communicating, you won't get anything out of this program. Coming into this call and listening to understand that we're trying to talk to you right now, you're not going to be able to hear it unless you actually are listening to this call. So if you need to stop this call right now because I'm driving you nuts, turn it back on so you make sure you get the rest of it later on, okay? I really hope that you guys understand that you chose this lifestyle. You then paid a monetary amount in order for us to take you on as a client, and now use us, connect with us, ask questions, let us challenge your experiment. You might feel like everybody is the same exact thing, but it becomes more customized as you communicate. So if your ankle's not feeling good or your back is spasming, I want to hear about it every single day. I want to hear about how it happened. I want you to say, do you have 5 minutes for a call? I want you to know that in order for this to work, we need to talk and we need to discuss. So for the next 90 days, this is your 401k. This is you investing into yourself so that you are better for the rest, not because you thought it worked before. You're trying to break the cycle. Maybe before this, you were either over or under eating. Before this, you were either over or under training. We need to find your homeostasis. It needs to be a combination of resistance training, it needs to be a combination of cardiovascular exercise, and it needs to be a combination of mobility that allows you to be able to do your cardio and your resistance training. So I want you guys to make sure that this is not you just staying stagnant in a program that is just going to work for itself. It's only going to work if you're invested in yourself. And if you haven't gotten that from the introduction call, then I'm sorry, but you should rewatch it, because we say to you every day communicate. And we haven't been getting much of that. And the lifestylers will agree that it takes the communication. It takes you actually saying that you need to learn, that you need to go into that same party that I went to and know that that was a load of shit. I'm sorry. That no matter who you are, what you are, and how busy you are, that taking 3 packets that were going to bring you protein, energy, and what was the other one? Protein, energy, and what was the other one? Protein, energy,
vegetables.
And I can't remember the other one. Anyway, that those 3 packets were not going to make you healthy. That we are not made to be robots yet. We are not. We can actually be healthy by nature and live this organic life of eating a balanced diet with all major food groups, because guess what? They were brought to us on earth for a purpose. And as long as we communicate our signs and symptoms and we grow from that. So, tangent over. So I want you to make sure that you're finding your information. I want to make sure you do a couple of things. Don't take the short road. Don't take the short road. Don't take a pill. Don't take a potion. Don't take an injection. Don't take a 30-day cleanse. Don't take the short road. Take the long road. Take the road where you can go into a party and say, this is bullshit. I want you to take the longest road that it takes you to find out who you really are and the healthiest version of you, okay? I want you to don't do it for the, holy shit, you got hot, because if it only matters about how you're going to look at the end, you are never going to be satisfied from whatever you get out of this program. Now, if you have weight to lose, I hope you understand that I want you to lose the weight, because I do. I do not think that people shouldn't be carrying around 50 to 30 extra pounds on their body. I think it's really tough on their joints, and I think that there's just no purpose for it. Okay, so if you still have that weight to lose, and maybe even more, then I still want you to lose that weight. But then there's going to come to a point where you only have 5 pounds left or 10 pounds left. Maybe it's 15 pounds left. And what you're doing needs to change in order for you to get to the goal that you're looking to do. And you have to be ready to experiment. And if we don't talk about it, if we're not watching this cycle grow with some consistency in your life with mobility, strength, and cardio, we won't know what to change, because you'll be pulling from all different ends. So we want you guys to make sure that you understand that no matter what, doing it for the holy shit, you got hot will never suffice in this program. Lastly, I want you to remember this, that you want to do this to become better for the rest. If you are better for the rest, that means that the weight will come off. It means that you'll be able to do activities of daily living at ease without injury. And that means that if you want to start training in a particular way, whether it's weightlifting, powerlifting, cardiovascular training, whatever happens to be at a higher level, that your body will be ready to do it. But trying to do really high intensity when your body's not ready for it at high amounts is going to cause your body to underdevelop and overdevelop in areas that are just probably not right. I want you guys to remember that I am your sounding board. So if you think that I'm talking to you, ask me. I'll tell you. Are we talking about me on the call? Yes, no, maybe so, maybe a little bit. Let's have a conversation. Let's communicate more. Let's see what we can learn from each other. Let's see how we can experiment in your experiment. Or maybe we need to just watch some homeostasis, okay? My last thing is, well, it's not my last thing, but somewhat my last thing. You are only in competition with people around you or yourself if you allow that to be your goal. So if you are, let's just use a bike. If you are sitting in a row of bikes, 5 women, one man on the side, and you're going for 15 seconds as hard as you can, the only reason that you have to be competitive is because you want to be competitive. I want you to know that. You choose where your competitiveness comes out. So if you want to lose 5 pounds because your sister is 5 pounds lighter and you think that being competitive with her weight will make you feel better, I want you to just realize that. I want you to realize that if you have an ideal body weight number in your head that you've never seen before and you've never attained in any type of lifestyle, and that's the only definition of success for you, you are going to be very challenged if you are never going to hit that number. I want you guys to make sure that you're doing this for a reason that makes sense, a reason that is driving you in a positive manner, and I want you to understand that you are allowed to want to lose weight, you are allowed to want to be more fit, you are allowed to want to be thinner, but you don't need to compete with me, you don't need to compete with your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your cousin. You need to compete only if something inside of you wants you to compete, that you need to realize that if you're doing this for self-care, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay if you're 5 pounds heavier than your sister. You're going to be okay if you're not going to squat your body weight, because even though your person next to you is. If you're going to progress your program but not as much as Joe Schmo, you're okay because you're still sticking with the program, that you're still moving forward, and moving forward is progression. There is so many opportunities to shine, but there are also just as many opportunities to feel the need to compete. And society, it's tough right now with like watching your kids. They watch you, we watch people. We're all trying to be the best versions of ourselves, I hope. But when your best version has everything to do with what this looks like, it's really hard to stay positive, and it's really hard to think that it's enough through things that are unexpected. I want you to know that you're enough. I want you to know that whatever your goal is good enough. So tonight, please tonight, I want you to write down your goal. I want to share with you my goal so you can hear my craziness as well. And I want you to own it. And I want you to not be afraid of what it is that you're aspiring to be. Number 1, I want to wear real clothes, not workout clothes, 3 times a week. I swear that's a goal of mine because I want my daughter to understand that there is a place to dress appropriately for different reasons, and I want to make sure that I am showing her that. I swear to God, I really think this way. I want to make more time for my husband. I was trying to do a challenge with him this month to improve our intimacy, and it was a big struggle. We went complete different schedules, and we're really going really well, and then we took couple of hiccups, and now we're trying to change the goal, and I want to stick with the goal for the rest of the month to show him that he is really important to me, and so is the relationship. It's 2. And 3, I want to not compare myself to other successful companies and trainers in my area and be proud of the business that I built. I have goals of having my own facility. I have goals of certain financial goals that I would like to attain by by 35 and 40 and 45 and 50. And those are always going to be there. And I'm looking at my next house in my head. I'm looking at enjoying my family growing in my head. I'm watching my dining room table get a little bit bigger so that I can host more parties in my head to keep me motivated to keep moving forward. And I want more than anything to help and hear and listen what your goal is. So I want you guys to write it down. And if you would be so kind to send it to me directly or to put it on the Facebook page, there's no shame, guys. If you want to be able to, I also want to snatch 60 kilos on stage on a snatch. I do want to do that pretty bad at 61 kilos weighing in. I really want to make sure that having goals and having them written down, talking about them as if they are going to happen, that in 90 days that you're going to have a really good relationship with yourself, with your exercise, and with your food, and that you'll be able to have a piece of cake in the house without feeling like you need to eat the entire thing. I want you to feel like you can have Thin Mints in the freezer to have as a special treat every once in a while and not feel the need that you're going to have to eat the entire box. I want you to feel like you can start a strength program and you're going to do it and you're going to be successful with it and want to hear your goals. So I don't know who listened to the call this evening. If you either send it to me directly or you throw it up onto that Facebook page, because it is, and actually I'm going to put mine up onto the Facebook page. So if you want to write underneath me or not, please feel free.
Put it on the Facebook page.
I'm just going to go reiterate what we talked about this evening. Every day, send Gina your pie chart. Every day, send me your fitness macros. Let me help you. Okay, if you are a lifestyle and you're trying to find your avenue, I know that, shout out to Jen because she did her half marathon and she did awesome, a great time. And now she's getting ready to do her next one, or maybe it's a full marathon, I'm not sure. And we're going to help navigate her to that direction. Congratulations on Michelle Suggs, posting a super awesome inspirational picture of herself, but she looked fabulous. And I absolutely love that outfit. I love that new, like, on trend, longer like coat thing that you had going on. Very cute, and you looked awesome. But she's going to start focusing a little bit more on strength versus cardio because she's at goal, I would tell her. So I want you guys to send to Gina, send to me. I want to remind you, why did you sign up for Mama G's in the first place? If you signed up because you were overeating, under eating, or over or under exercising, let's ask more questions. Let's communicate more, because I want you to find the answers so that this program was the right program for you. And I want you guys to make sure you remind yourself every single day that I'm Samantha B and you are on your way to being better for the rest.
Beautiful as usual, Samantha B. All right, let's go to Mama G here, because I know you all are waiting with bated breath to know what's been going on in Mama G's world. So shout out, yes, to Jen Davidson and her madre, who looks like her sister. It's a thing, like, you as a mother with an adult daughter wants to look like their sister, not their mother. And that's what Jen and her mother look like. And they did a beautiful evening half marathon in Las Vegas, I believe. What a great idea. We ought to think about that, folks. Yeah, Michelle looking beautiful. So keep posting those pictures, people. And I want to see everybody's goals up there, because Mama G put her goals up there. My number one goal, which all of a sudden happened last week, is to recover from surgery, which I had on Wednesday night. And yeah, not fun. So I'll give you a little preview of some things. Take a little sneak peek. Got a little drain, not fun. Look what else I got in here. I got all kinds of padding. Because Mama G Yeah, divulging the fact she is boomless on the left side. So you guys know I was in Denver, having a beautiful time with my 3 nephews, my great nephews, because I'm a great aunt, and it was wonderful. And then out of the blue, as soon as I got there, I started to have swelling on my left breast, which I've had in the past, but I have not had for well over 2 years. If you don't know, which you probably do already know, that I've had a prophylactic mastectomy. 2014, I think the year was, and had lots of issues with infections and lots of surgeries, but I've gone about 2 years with no surgeries, and it's been awesome. And out of the blue, I started to get some swelling, and by Friday night, the family wasn't even home yet. I knew I was in trouble, and I knew my surgeon told me that I was going to have to go to the ER on Saturday morning, which I did, and spent 24 hours plus in the hospital after getting aspirated, and just assuming that I was having inflammation in my breast. We don't know why. I have a little capsular contracture and things going on there. And that was that. And then the family came home, and I got to meet my new greatest nephew, Sebastian, perfect little baby boy. And you saw Vincenzo and Michael, and Auntie G was climbing and sliding and keeping those boys tired. And we had a great time together until we got news that I had a bacteria growing, and that I had to get back to Cali and get to surgery. So that all happened on Wednesday, surgery Wednesday night, in the hospital till Friday. And let's just say this, it wasn't planned. I'm going to try not to get emotional about it, because I'm mad as all get out, because was at a point where I was at the strongest, fittest, fastest I've been my whole life at 55 and a half years old. And I had more plans, had lots of plans. And now I have a few, what's it called, Samantha? Can't remember the word. I have a few, I'm derailed. I have a few hiccups, and it sucks. So every time that we talk to one of you, and believe me, at least 50% of our clients end up with some kind of obstacle, whether it's with family members, whether it's with finances, whether it's with jobs. I don't care what it is, what it is. Or it's with your own physicality, right? With something going wrong, whether it's a diagnosis or an injury. Number one, we understand that it sucks. And we are going to help you figure out how to get through it. And I have my village, all of you, to help me through it. And you know what? It's not what I wanted. It's not what I planned for. I have a lot of PTSD from my previous surgeries and such. So even things like, being laying in bed or in the hospital bed or at home in bed or on the couch, and then having, like, what am I going to do to keep myself occupied if I'm in too much pain right now to even think about studying, which thankfully my teacher's given me a little bit of a reprieve on when I've got some assignments due. Like when I put on certain shows and things from the past, literally PTSD, like, makes me sick inside. And it's hard. It's hard to have to rely on others. I'm very independent. I like my schedule. I like having to get up early and deal with my clients and go train, come home and feed my body and work and train and study. And I love being busy. And I hate not having a game plan right now. Today I had to beg my roommate Troy to go for a walk with me. Like, you're not even going to walk with me? I need a walking partner. But he did. And I hate it. I hate that I have to rely on anybody else. But number one goal, recover and quickly get back to training. I'm hoping to get the drain out tomorrow, which gives me a little more leeway to get to walking more and biking more and doing some things that I'm allowed to do until I get permission to do even more. We're not going to probably do much upper body for a while. I will be boobless on the left side for 3 to 6 months. We don't know what that's going to look like right now. So Samantha has all kinds of plans for me because my second goal, which was my first goal previous to the surgical goal, was legs. Legs like Sam Nari. So hard to believe that we're coming on a year that we lost our perfectly beautiful 34-year-old friend out of the blue to some stupid virus. And we'd always say, oh man, Sam Nari has the best beautiful legs ever. So I'm gonna always have the goal to have legs like our perfect friend Sam. And Mark's a little bit afraid of my next goal, which is to be faster, stronger, better, because it's a thing after surgery that you actually are going to be better. Unlike Humpty Dumpty, where they couldn't put the pieces back together again, I am not Humpty Dumpty, even though I feel like Humpty Dumpty right now. But so Mark is a little concerned because he knows that whatever I intend to do in 2019, that he likely is going to get dragged on. And of course, goal number 4, which is the priority goal, is to get Grammy G ready, because my little Olivia Jean Carrillo will be joining us sometime in the next 20 days, I predict. And she needs Grammy G to be ready to go. So listen, folks, we don't plan for these obstacles. I do prefer to plan things. I do prefer to know, yeah, I need to get this repaired or that repaired, this needs to happen or that needs to happen. But you know what, for most of us, things happen, accidents happen, diagnoses happen, and there's no planning for it. So the question is, do you have a village? I 100% do. You all do too. You got Mama G and Samantha B have got your back, as well as all of your lifestylers and experimenters. And like Samantha B said, from the get-go, why are you here? Holy crud. Some months we feel really successful, and our success actually comes from your success. So when our lifestylers and experimenters are successful, Samantha B and I are feeling on top of the world. But when you guys are struggling, we gotta admit that we feel your pain. And we wish we didn't feel your pain, because here's the deal. We can guide you, we can motivate you, we can encourage you, but we can't eat for you, we can't cook for you, we can't prep for you, we can't exercise for you, we can't mobility for you, we can't strength train for you. We can't do any of those things for you. You actually have to do it. And unlike, the Nutrisystem, I see that commercial all the time when I'm watching my program that I watch on the regular. Nutrisystem, yes, I could eat pizza and cake and pie and blah, 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 and I lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks, and they don't tell you, and they also gain that weight back the next 2 weeks later, right? But, it was super easy to get that food delivered, and, so what? Cost you a little bit of money, no big deal. You still made goal. Maybe you made goal, but you certainly didn't maintain goal. And, there's nothing easy about this. But I don't understand the lack of motivation, especially when you've made a decision to come on board, when you've paid the money, and then you don't follow through. It's like, Sam and I are all revved up. We're like, ready to go. Okay, settle down there, Gina. We're ready. And then nobody goes to the start line with us. It's like, okay, tonight I'm going to get, I'm going to hear from all kinds of people. I'm going to get pie charts in. I'm going to make comments. We're going to twist and turn and do better, and we don't get any feedback, and we don't get to hold your hand through the process, and we don't get to say to you, hey, that meal, let's talk about why we want to do it better, right? I know that we've got a lifestyler who was with us a long time ago, previous to the experiment as it lives today, who, kind of used to do it the old way. But let me tell you what, there is a tried and true reason we do things the way we do them now. And those of you who follow the game plan understand it. And I'm going to tell you this as well. Mama G has been posting her food, if you've noticing, even her snacks very diligently, because I am showing my people that Mama G is feeding herself, because nothing is more important than right now, as I'm recovering and recouping from surgery, that I am getting enough nutrition so that my body can heal appropriately. The worst thing I can do for myself when I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, well, the easiest thing I could do, yes, Mary Cousineau, is to not eat. Because why should I eat? Feel like crap. Don't feel like eating. Not hungry. Got a million other things I can say to you about food when I am down and out. But I must, number one, role model for all of you that under no circumstance is it acceptable to not self-care. And no better time to self-care than when you are not well. So, if you say to us, oh, we're sick, I've got the flu, I've got this or that, we're gonna tell you exactly what you need to be doing. That's why I'm gonna tell all of you, just like Mary and just like Lisa Photo and just like me tomorrow when I can get my ingredients, got to start making the old chicken soup, liquid gold. There are actual scientific studies that will prove to you that chicken broth, AKA bone broth, AKA, your grandma's soup, will provide you with the hydration and the nutrition you need when you are super sick, in bed, only able to get fluids in. So it's a great thing to have in your freezer in the event of catastrophe, all right? So I'm just going to say that right now as we start winter. You better all go get the old flu shots now, all right? Don't wait. They're expecting this season to not be a good one. But the point being is that when your body is hurting, when your body is down and out, you need to make sure you're providing it with the fuel it needs. So nothing's changed for Mama G other than the fact that she gets only a little mile or two walk every day for a little bit here, that you gotta be eating nutritious and delicious food. So I'm committed to it, and mostly I'm committed to it because I have to role model for all of you on what this looks like when the old shit hits the fan, right? I like to say I was talking about the competition side of this because, we talk about it all the time. It's like, there's so many social pressures, right, in terms of what you need to look like. But, what's happening now as we are having some extreme success with our experimenters who reach goal is they have that moment where they're like, is it possible that I'm really at goal? Like I'm actually happy about like my weight and my body. I can't believe that I'm able to do things I never expected. All of a sudden I'm able to jog or run if that was an expectation I had, or I'm able to get up and down, or whatever it happens to be for you. And that's a good source of competition. That's competing with you. That is, like I said, always having that desire to be better, faster, stronger. I hope that I never, regardless of my age or regardless of my situation, cower down to the statement of, I'm getting old. Okay, you know what? Not acceptable. Not acceptable to me. It's not. I hope to be able to do everything I'm capable of for my age and better than anybody else my age, all right? And sure, it's competition. Because guess what? I have a lot of expectations for the rest of my life. I expect to have lots of grandbabies. My little Olivia Jean Carrillo is going to be my first. I have all kinds of little things already. My little Ollie, my dolly. Nobody takes that. That's mine. Anyway, point being is there are so many wonderful things to live for, right? Even in the midst of all the tragedies that we see. I'm in the midst of a 54-day novena. I'm a pretty faithful Catholic, and even though I have non-Catholics joining me, Christians and other faiths that are joining me for the next 54 days, we've been doing a rosary novena to the Blessed Mother and praying for each other. And it's almost overwhelming to read the petitions from all the people that are in our group that have shared them, because there's so much tragedy and so much sadness and so much sickness. and it's overwhelming. And one of the things I tried to get the group to focus on today as we read through some of those petitions was that, we know there's tragedy. I mean, we see it here in California. We've seen it with the hurricanes and the floods and all the horrific things that have gone on with the weather, and all the things that Mother Nature is causing right now. But there's so many blessings as well. And this is where the control factor comes in, is that you actually do have some control over things in your life. You have control over what you put in your mouth. I just saw Krista's name pop up here, and I don't know where her madre is, Karen, but I mean, you have to talk about it. You have to talk about the fact that, we've known Krista for a long time in our world. She came into our world because she's connected to Dom, who Mary donated her kidney to. So we have that familial connection there. But Krista came on board with the experiment in January when she was finally sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now she's a young woman with 3 kids and a husband and a full-time job and is incredibly busy. And this woman went from, Krista, we need to see some side-by-side pictures of you, just like we saw with your mother, somebody who was pretty, fit, unfit, and out of shape and unhappy with her situation, to somebody who is now, lifting with the goal of getting strong and has motivated her mother to a place where her mother is now, I'm going to call her our 60-something-year-old athlete. I mean, it's pretty incredible how much Karen loves to go to the gym now. And it's inspiring, all right? I mean, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I mean, that's the motivation that, that Lisa Photo knows that she's going skiing with her kids in a month and with her grandkids in 2 months. That she could barely get off the ground before, and now she's doing box hops. I mean, it's not that you have to do box hops, but the fact is that she's capable of things that she never dreamed she was capable of. And Karen, was really ready to throw in the towel. She was very unhappy with her life. She had been nursing a hip injury that wasn't recovering, and now Karen, you should see her in the gym. She sends Sam videos all the time of what she's doing in the gym, and she's thinking about doing a little Spartan sprint with us next year in Minnesota. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be recouped and ready to go for that. So see, I have all kinds of things to look forward to. And guess what? I may not be able to run the turkey trot with Samantha B and baby Logan this year, but I will walk the turkey trot with Mama Carrillo and either baby in tote or baby in tote, either baby in a belly or baby in a carrier. So, there's tremendous blessings that we have to focus on. And when you can put things in perspective, be competitive where competitive makes sense. Be competitive with yourself. I don't even care if you're competitive with other people. Sam was at that party and she didn't mention that one of the people there, I wouldn't call her a friend, but acquaintance, was like saying to somebody, and they didn't know Sam was overhearing the fact. She's like, well, do you think that I look like Gina because Gina's 50-something and I'm 50-something? And Sam's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about Gina for? So it's like, why are you comparing yourself? Number one, we are completely 2 different people. Number 2, we probably self-care in very, very different ways. And number 3, you are definitely not in Mama G's lifestyle. And if you were, you wouldn't have to compare yourself because you would be thrilled with who you are. So, let's face it, folks. Competition's a good thing, but we all have skeletons in our closet, and we have to be mindful of that. There's a lot of baggage that we carry. My friend Tammy, who's in our group, Tammy Bunick, will say that, like, we've got that, you're carrying that backpack around and you're carrying all those rocks in it. Freaking let the rocks out of the backpack. You will feel so much lighter when you get rid of the skeletons in the closet, when you stop holding on to the baggage from when you were a kid or when you were a high schooler or when you were in college or whatever you're carrying, right? You guys know, I know there's somebody on this call right now, maybe all of you on this call right now, who has their stuff that you got to let go of, right? It doesn't matter, that, food was used as your comfort. when you were a kid, and that you want to go back to that comfort now. I'll tell you what, food was family when I was a kid. Food still is family, but you should have seen the beautiful food that Mark and my niece Sierra and everybody prepared last night. Beautiful, nutritious, and delicious food that brought us again all around the table together, all enjoying a meal together and enjoying that conversation and enjoying the ability to converse, right? And have that camaraderie with each other, and planning our future and enjoying baby Logan as she's growing up, and thinking about the babies that are coming into our lives and all the fun things that we're going to be doing. We have so many tremendous blessings to look forward to, and we really, really, really need to focus on those things. So you've got to relinquish the baggage, all right? And you've got to be able to find the way to move forward and not backwards. Because I know I've got some of you on the call who struggle with that. I'll hear the, you just don't understand, where I live, or, it's really hard, it's winter time, or, and the food options are different, and we kind of live in a food desert at certain times of the year. I understand it. I understand it now because I've experienced it with those of you who don't live in California. And it's a little bit shocking to me that we still have food deserts, and that there's not the plethora of fruits and vegetables that we have available here in California year round, that you don't have them. But we actually have lots of options. We have options, and somebody pointed out to me tonight, with Whole Foods has now come down on their prices, and they actually do delivery now with Amazon Prime. So you do actually have the ability to order things from your home mindfully. I will tell you this, that you will spend less money when you order online because you're not there just picking and grabbing. So me not going to Target and walking through every aisle and going, oh, maybe I need a little of that, maybe a little, instead of just getting on Amazon and I need to get my farfalle because I'm out of it and I love it, or my pappardelle or whatever I happen to need, you'd be surprised that you actually will spend less money. And I don't know if any of you listened to the little Dave Ramsey rant that I put up there, but it was 100% in line with Mama G. So Dave Ramsey's plan is pretty nuts, pretty I'm going to say pretty nuts and bolts, but that's not the word. I'm playing a Samantha B here, losing my words. It's pretty clear cut in the fact that your income dictates how much you can spend. And if you have an income problem, then you need to improve your income. And for a lot of people, just getting a few part-time jobs can do that and allow you to have some extra money, which will allow you then to attack your debt. On the other side of that, you can't think just because you make $80,000 or $100,000 a year that you should be buying a $50,000 car. Because you really can't afford it. So I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey. I have sent many people through his 8-week program. I highly recommend it if you are struggling with your finances. I think that he is good regardless of your situation, regardless of your age, regardless of your scenario with finances. But he pretty much said it, that it's a math problem. You got to do the math. And we've said it here in Mama G's Lifestyle a multitude of times. This is math class. If you don't go to class, thank you for being in class, all of you joining us right now, and do the homework, you learn nothing. And you will never make change for that lifestyle, for not only being better for the rest, like Samantha B talks about, but like I always say, about living a long, healthy, independent life. That is the only thing that my children want for their mom and dad, and it is the only thing that I want for my children and grandchildren and everyone I love, to live a long, healthy, independent life. And the only way to get there is, number one, by treating your body with self-respect. And how do you do that? You think about what you put in your mouth in a very calculated way. You think about how you move your body. And then we go on from there in terms of teaching the lessons on how to get that self-respect to that body and to live that long, independent lifestyle. My sister is joining us here today, and I should have been with her for several days, but I wasn't. So now we are together planning her food every single day because her daughter, who has the 3 little ones, said to me, I need my mom for a long time. And I said, well, you sound just like my daughter. So together, my sister and I, I'm holding your hand, Chris, and we are going to put our heads down and we are going to take care of that beautiful, healthy, nutritious, and delicious food and getting that calculated exercise. And it's a math problem, folks. We have too many people who have joined on with the experiment, spent their good, hard-earned money, and made a decision to not do the math. Made a decision to not do the math with the fact that, guess what? You get a certain number of calories every day. And I do have a couple of you on the call right now who are in what we're going to call maintenance mode. And you have been given permission. Actually, you've been told, Kim Tyler's shaking her head, that you must ingest extra calories every single day so that we have homeostasis, like Samantha B talks about, and that we don't lose that beautiful muscle. Oh, I'm so afraid of losing muscle. Okay, that's why I'm eating all of my calories, and you too better be eating the allotted calories that we have set up for you so that you can reach goal or keep goal. All right, folks? Because your body doesn't care that you're tired. Your body doesn't care that you're afraid to consume extra calories. Your body doesn't care. Your body knows what it needs. We're the ones that we screw with the old body because of our head games here. So the math is this. You got to eat the calculated number of calories that Mama G and Samantha B has laid out for you. You got to hit the macros appropriately because those macronutrients, number one, make sure that we don't fluctuate that blood sugar, which is the number one reason that we have issues with heart disease, stroke, diabetes, those spikes in blood pressure, too, those spikes in your blood sugar cause dysfunction in your body. So we don't want that. We want you to be stable. So eating your macronutrients the way we talk about in terms of the 50-30-20, the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, not swapped any way that you decide you want them to be, not swapped at the end of the day, but at each meal so we keep balance throughout our day. And more importantly, for you, so that you're not craving things, so that you're not hungry, so that you're satiated throughout the day, right? None of you are going to tell me you're hungry, because if you're hungry, we got a problem. We need to be discussing it, right? Chris Colosimo, you need to eat your calories, no under eating. We'll see if she pops her head in there because I'm talking to her. Oh, there she is. I got the hand wave. So, folks, it's math, all right? And I didn't tell you you had to come to calculus. We're talking, like Dave Ramsey said, maybe it's 4th or 6th grade math, all right? It ain't brain surgery. You got to do the math every single day. You gotta put the calories in. You got to do the exercise and take care of some of that calorie burn. We got to get Ticker some exercise, right? Today and yesterday, I made Samantha B walk the dogs yesterday and I walked, and I made Troy walk the dogs today and I walked. Stresses me out when other people are holding my dogs because my dogs are crazy. And you got to self-care, folks. And you got to be ready. I'm going to tell you this right now. When that obstacle comes, it's not like a Spartan race. Even during a Spartan race, I try not to know when that obstacle's coming. I know it's coming. And I will tell you this. I have driven around San Clemente for the last few months thinking about how incredibly blessed I am. And I know, that lingering thought in my head, and maybe you can relate to this, that lingering thought of when am I going to fall through that thin ice again? All right. I'm going to say that my foot fell in. All right. That's what I'm going to say. My foot has fallen through thin ice. You guys are pulling me out. All right. This could be a hell of a lot worse. Okay. I can tell you that right now. Could be a hell of a lot worse. A little surgery ain't going to hold Mama G back. A little, having no boob for the next 3 to 6 months. It's a good thing that I got good pec, right? Look at good pec there. But we don't know when it's coming, folks. The only thing that we can do right now, here and there, is self-care ourselves. And that starts with the Mama G lifestyle. Knowing that, Samantha B, where are you? Samantha B, come on. Get yourself going.
This is Samantha B, and you are better for the rest.
And Mama G always says, it is not about what you lose, folks. It is all about what you gain. Go get it. I will see you via Facebook and via text and via WhatsApp. Take care, guys. All right.